And a happy Saturday evening, everyone, and welcome inside Hammond Stadium at the CenturyLink Sports Complex here in Fort Myers. Spring and minor league home of the Minnesota Twins and Fort Myers Miracle. Alongside Jason Alexander, I'm your host, Doug Pugh. Today's Class 4A final game features the Stallions of American Heritage Delray Beach with a record of 29-2, and the Warriors of Calvary Christian from Clearwater with a record of 25-4. Before we get the starting lineups for each squad, I want to formally bring in my broadcast partner in the booth, Mr. Alexander.
Good evening, Doug. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to a great game between two of the best baseball teams the state of Florida has to offer.
It certainly is two of the best teams that the state of Florida has to offer, two of the best teams in the nation for that matter. So let's get the table set. Starting lineup for the visitors from Delray Beach on the scoreboard, the American Heritage Stallions. Batting leadoff, the second baseman, Stanley DeMartinez. In center field, batting second is Bailey Uteritz. Pitching and batting third, Carmine Lane. The shortstop, Jacob Lejeski. And batting fourth. Batting fifth is Steven Andrews. He's the right fielder. Batting sixth, Ryan Bruno at DH. Batting seventh is Chris Ferrara at first base. Batting eighth is Dylan King, the catcher. And in left field, batting ninth is Sam Murrison. Not batting will be Nick Romano. He'll be playing third base. And the defense behind the pitcher, Josh Emerson, for Calvary Christian from left to right. Peter Stavrakos, Samuel Gordon, and Charles Stevens from left to right. Across the diamond, Tommy White at third, Christian Cairo at short, Vince Smith at second, and Kyle Flynn at first. Behind the dish is Pierce Chambers. And as we mentioned, Josh Emerson on the mound. Emerson on the season, 53 innings pitched, 8-0 record, .92 ERA, 10 games started, 4 of those complete, 2 of those were shutouts. Gave up just 32 hits in 53 innings, 65 strikeouts to just 24 walks. Opponents hitting just 171 against him. And so the man of the hour for the Warriors, trying to win their second title in 3 years, defeated the reigning state champions last night, 3-1 from Calvary Christian Fort Lauderdale. American Heritage looking for their first state title in school history. And so we are just about ready to get on our way. Jason, your quick thoughts.
American Heritage is an offensive juggernaut. Put up 9 runs yesterday. They swing the bat aggressively and really can hit the ball. On the other hand, you have Calvary Christian, a really sound pitching ball club with timely hitting. So I think it'll be a battle of offense versus pitching. We'll see who is the victor.
So Stanley DeMartinez will jump in the box and get us started. DeMartinez was 0 for 3 in last night's blowout of Trinity Christian from Jacksonville with a strikeout and a run scored. DeMartinez hitting .351 on the season, 1 home run. And so Josh Emerson, first pitch will take place over the plate. And that one misses just low for a ball. Emerson's second pitch in there for a ball. And the count quickly goes 2-0. DeMartinez out in front. Quickly now, 3-0 in favor of DeMartinez. Emerson that time right down the money.
There we go.
And 3-1 is the count. And that one fouled sharply into the dugout. Let's see. Hope the young man's all right.
During my playing days, Doug, I came out really juiced, and it's good that Emerson can take a little bit off that fastball because The energy is running so high.
So Emerson works the count full. There's a liner to Christian Cairo, over to the first and out.
Nice job to recover, got behind, took something off his pitches to throw strikes, got it in on the hands and low, let his defense do the job.
And that will bring up the center fielder, Bailey Uderitz. Uderitz 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout in yesterday's game, but 2 runs scored. And that one is in for a strike, 0-1. And that one catches the inside part of the plate on Uderitz. And quickly Emerson, the polar opposite of the way he started the first batter, now ahead 0-2. Tries to get Uderitz to chase something outside, nothing doing, and the count will go to 1-2.
Uderitz really crowds that plate, looking to take away the outside pitch, but still has the bat speed to turn on the inside pitches.
And that one is low, and the count will even up at 2-2. Uderitz likes to get right on top of that plate. It's been a trend we've seen throughout the week here. And it really does seem to make a lot of sense as long as you're not worried about getting hit. That left foot of his all the way almost out of the box. He's all the way back in it as well as being on top of the plate.
The goal was maximum home plate coverage.
So foul tip, and the count will remain at 2-2. And Uderitz swing and miss, and he'll go back to the dugout with a strikeout. That brings up the pitcher, Carmine Lane. Had a big day yesterday against Trinity Christian from Jacksonville. Playing at the third base spot, it was 3 for 4, 2 RBI, and 2 runs scored.
Lane's had a big career. School's all-time home run hitter.
Takes the first pitch from Emerson on the outside corner of the plate for a strike.
Lane's just a fabulous all-around baseball player. Can run the bases, can pitch, can swing the stick.
That pitch just misses, and the count will even up at 1-1.
Lane drove the ball exceptionally well yesterday to left and right field as well as center. You're not going to get the fastball by him.
And that one is tattooed out into center field, but Samuel Gordon with a beat on it, and that will do it for the Stallions in the top half of the first inning. So we played one half of inning here in Fort Myers. No score. Warriors coming up. We'll be right back after this quick press from the NFHS Network.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Nothing doing for the Stallions in the top half of the first inning. And we get you set up for the home half of the first with the batting lineup for Clearwater Calvary Christian. The Warriors leading off is Christian Cairo at short. Batting second, the center fielder Samuel Gordon. Third base, batting third, Tommy White. Batting fourth is Vince Smith, the second baseman. Hitting fifth is the catcher, Pierce Chambers. Batting sixth is the DH, Nolan Hootie. In left field, batting seventh, Peter Stavrakos. In first base, batting eighth, Kyle Flynn. And in right field, batting ninth, Charles Stevens. And the defense for American Heritage behind Carmine Lane. From left to right, Sam Merson, Bailey Oderitz, Stephen Andrews in the outfield. From left to right on the diamond, Nick Romano at third, Jacob Lejuski at short, Stanley DeMartinez at second, Chris Ferrara at first. Behind the dishes, Dylan King. And as we mentioned, Carmine Lane on the mound for the Stallions. And Lane, 7-0 record, 1.04 ERA, 47 innings pitched, giving up just 27 hits, 7 runs, all 7 of them earned, 80 strikeouts to just 13 walks. And the first pitch catches the outside part of the plate for a strike.
Important to mow down Morrow. Cairo. He is a spark plug for this ball club. Not only as a player, but emotionally. You do not want this guy to get on base, had 33 stolen bases, and just wreaks havoc on the base path.
And he hits a line shot to Romano, who is up with it and good for the first out. Cairo, quite accomplished, signed to LSU. And that will bring up Samuel Gordon. Gordon, the center fielder. And in yesterday's action, he was 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, but he had an RBI. And he bunts his way. Quickly off the mound is Lane. And he knocks over Ferrara. And will take the extra base on the error. That one looked kind of ugly. Ferrara, in the attempt to lean his arm out to catch the ball, had a full steam of Samuel Gordon run into it. And that one did not look good. He favoring the left side. I mean, that could have easily dislocated or separated a shoulder or even broken a clavicle.
Tough play. Lane didn't have footing, was falling back on the throw, which caused the ball to go to the inside part of the bag, up the baseline.
And as a result, some collateral damage on Samuel Gordon as well. We can see it all the way from up here behind home plate on the 4th floor of this stadium, the amount of blood on Samuel Gordon's jersey. And so Ferrara being picked up, and he will walk off under his own power, but clutching that left side like he has definitely done something. And we will await to see the fallout from this, because we're obviously, Ferrara's day appears to be done. EMS going into the dugout over there to check on him, make sure. And Gordon getting some assistance from his coach on the third base side. So Stephen Andrews will go to play first base. And then number 13, Kevin Coyne, will enter the game and go to right field. And Gordon's all set to go.
Injuries, unfortunately, are part of sport. However, that's why you field the team. Next man up. Trusting that he's well, and hopefully that he can return to this championship game.
So now Tommy White, who had a good game yesterday, 1 for 2. Third baseman now with a runner on second in scoring position with just 1 out. The pitch from Lane on the outside part of the plate, and he will wrap that one down the right field line. Tons of space to bring Gordon home, and White is in with a stand-up double.
Nice piece of hitting by White. I'm sure the injury delay took away Lane's momentum. He'll have to regain his focus.
That brings up the second baseman, Vince Smith. Smith 1 for 3 yesterday with a run scored and an RBI and a strikeout. So Carmine Lane, the ace of this American Heritage staff, and a little bit of difficulty in the bottom half of the first. That pitch is outside and in the dirt for ball 1. And that one is outside. 2-0 the count now. So a pinch runner will come on for Tommy White. It'll be Jack Spates. Wind up and the pitch from Lane. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike, 2-1.
Lane is clearly committed to working the outer half of the plate.
Lane's pitch is low, ball 3. Smith hitting .325 on the season, 22 RBI, 2 home runs, 4 triples, and 10 doubles. And he smacks that one towards Romano, and that will be good for the second out.
Smith tried to pull that pitch, hit it hard, but if he takes that pitch to right field, he probably has a 2-bagger and an RBI.
That brings up the catcher, Pierce Chambers. 1 for 2 on the day yesterday with an RBI and a walk. And that one misses.
Stays on the outside part of the plate, working the fastball and breaking ball, but staying on that outer half. One of the benefits of having back-to-back games, Doug, our managers are able to scout the potential competitor in that semifinal game, and you can make overnight adjustments to your scouting report for championship play.
That one misses, 2-0. Virtually no change to the Calvary lineup. but it doesn't mean there aren't wholesale changes in the way you're going to approach your at-bats. And then if you're Josh Emerson, how you're going to approach the Stallions lineup as well. Lane, the 2-0. And that one is
nice
shot
play
down the line. And the tag not there for Romano. Great play to pick that one. And you'll have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Great presence of mind from Romano. He really didn't have a shot at the base runner and just missed that tag at the base.
Just an excellent job by the lead runner to avoid the tag there. And even better play by Romano to stop that ball. That would have been a line shot down the line and would have gotten a run home. So now, Nolan Hootie, last night's winning pitcher, who pitched an absolute gem of a game, complete game, 1 run, 5 hit, 6 strikeout performance against Calvary Christian from out of Fort Lauderdale. And they've got Chambers in the rundown. They're going to keep an eye on the runner at third. And somehow gets all the way back. Not going to get him in the rundown for fear that runner would take off. Spates, who is in running for Tommy Smith.
64 stolen base and 78 attempts on the year for this Warrior Ball Club. They definitely like to run and run often.
And there you see it right there.
Interesting strategies by both managers.
It certainly is, because every other team you've seen so far this week has committed to the rundown. And in some cases, it's led to a run scored from third. In some cases, it hasn't, but
the advantage, that is scouting at its finest.
And Hootie yanks that one foul down the first base side. 0-2 to Nolan Hootie. Hootie going to TCU, along with his battery mate from last night, but the catcher, Pierce Chambers. And this time, yet another deke that's Ryan Michaels that's out there, that's pinch running for Chambers. So now it becomes a situation where if they do it so many times and now you don't react to it, the one time you don't react to it, it could lead to the run. Really interesting cat and mouse game going on early. This time he goes. Cut off quickly by Wojcicki to ensure that the runner at third stays there. And now Calvary with a run home already this inning will try and get 2 more home, courtesy of the bat of Nolan Hootie. Takes that one high and outside for ball 2. Count even at 2-2, Deuces Wild with 2 outs. Hootie takes a moment for himself out of the box. Hits the reset button. Steps back in. And awaits the pitch from Carmine Lane. And that one right down the middle of the pike. And Hootie will strike out looking. But not with before. The Warriors get one home in the bottom half of the first. We've played one full inning here in Fort Myers. Calvary Christian 1, American Heritage Delray 0. We'll be right back after this quick break on the NFHS Network.
This championship event is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Thousands of young athletes have their season ended by ACL injuries. Learn how to keep them safe with our ACL injury prevention course at nfhslearn.com/courses.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Here you see a good shot of the Calvary Christian fans that have made the trip down from Clearwater. A little over a couple hours drive from the mid-county area in Pinellas County, right off of McMullen Boot, just north of State Road 60, otherwise known as Gulf to Bay, and then parts of Pinellas County. Calvary Christian, very humble beginnings, and if you were to drive by that campus now, it looks extremely impressive. And the baseball team has followed suit. So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for American Heritage. This is Jacob Lejeski. Lejeski was 1 for 3 on the day yesterday against Trinity Christian with 2 RBI. Also a strikeout. And he fouls that one off behind the right dugout. First base dugout.
Lejeski guessing fastball.
So the count even at 1. The pitch from Emerson catches the inside part of the plate for a strike.
Lejeski comes right back with a fastball, this time on the inside part of the plate.
That one high and inside from Emerson, and now the count will run even at 2-2.
Waste pitch. See if he was biting. He'll likely come after him right now.
And he does, but Lejeski manages to get the smallest of bat on that ball to stay alive.
Emerson working from east to west, north to south.
And big cut there, and fouls it off, and the count will remain at 2-2. Lejeski is a junior. Hitting .313 on the season. 23 RBI, 4 home runs to his credit.
He likes the ball out and over the plate. Let's see if Emerson tries to bust him in on the hands for the strikeout. This way it's acceptable. Low and inside.
And he gets him low and outside. Great job of moving the ball around the dish there by Emerson. So it will be the right fielder, Steven Andrews, who started at first base, but an injury to Chris Ferrara sent him out to the number 9 spot.
came inside to start Andrews off.
That pitch catches the outside part of the plate. And quickly, Emerson is ahead 0-2.
2 pitches, 1 fastball, 1 breaking ball. He'll waste 1 or 2 here.
And that one's popped up. Flynn giving it a chase.
Always an interesting dynamic ahead in the count. How many pitches do you get a batter to chase, knowing that you're subject to a pitch count?
And yet another one fouled off, almost identical spot. Emerson's delivery catches the fat part of the plate. And Andrews knew it. He started walking back to the dugout before home plate umpire Tom Skink could even start ringing him up.
He set that breaking ball up very well. Fastball, fastball, outside, outside, fastball, fastball, outside, outside. Breaking ball, frozen.
Now the designated hitter, Ryan Bruno. Bruno was 2 for 3 with a run scored yesterday and a walk. That pitch right down Broadway for a strike.
Emerson has great command over his fastball early on in this ball game.
He's already thrown a lot of first pitch strikes to hitters. And that one offside. Hit the spot that the catcher Chambers was set up at, but that was by design. And nothing doing, says Tom Skink. This time catches the outside corner, and he's ahead of Bruno 1-2. Bruno now fouls that one over behind the third base dugout. And that pitch just misses outside. Count is full. 2-2, 2 outs. Deuce is wild.
Good at bat for Andrews. Fouling off the tough pitches, showing great discipline on balls and strikes.
That one hit to Tommy White, who will be up with it, make the strong throw over across the diamond. And that will do it for the Stallions in the top half of the second inning. So your score after 1.5 innings of play here in Fort Myers, it's Calvary Christian 1, American Heritage Delray nothing. Be right back after this quick word on the NFHS Network.
This event is brought to you by Champion. Since 1919, Champion has created the durable, authentic sportswear you need to conquer your goals. As the official uniform and apparel provider for the NFHS, Champion helps athletes at every level make their mark, the mark of a champion. View our apparel today at champion.com.
Nothing doing for the Stallions in the top half of the second inning. The home side, Calvary Christian from out of Clearwater. Coming up. And we showed you earlier some Calvary Christian fans. Now getting a good look at the American Heritage fans that made a trip across Alligator Alley from Delray Beach. Trying to see their Stallions win the first state title in school history for the baseball program. And Peter Stavrakos, the 7-hitter. 7-8-9 due up for the Warriors in the bottom of the second. Stavrakos yesterday 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Left 5 men on base as a result of that. And he pops up the bunt attempt into the crowd. Lane's pitch catches the outside part of the plate, and quickly Carmine Lane is ahead of Stavrakos 0-2. Stavrakos, a junior, slaps that one foul down the left side.
Lane delivering a steady dose of breaking balls. Now he'll try to locate his fastball in all likelihood for the punch.
And that's exactly what he did. Good call, Mr. Alexander. And Peter Stavrakos will take a seat.
So important for you, even if you're just a 2-pitch pitcher, one of those pitches have to be able to be called a strike on a consistent basis so you can use the other pitch as bait and as an out pitch.
Here's Kyle Flynn, the first baseman. Flynn was 0 for 2 yesterday with a walk. He fouls that one off. And he too will find himself in an 0-2 hole. Flynn pulling that one off to the left side. And he'll wait the pitch from Carmine Lane, the ace of this American Heritage staff. And Lane came right at Flynn that time. He was trying to blow it right by him, and Flynn was able to get a piece on it and foul it off.
Lane doing a wonderful job of mixing up his pitch selections. The next level is location if he wants this strikeout.
And check swing by Flynn, fouled off to keep the count at 0-2. And Lane tried to see if Flynn was going to chase that one. Flynn, good discipline at the plate right there.
He ought to deliver him another breaking ball in the dirt. He has him chasing both pitches. He really has him where he wants him. Lane's been around the plate virtually every pitch. Hasn't really wasted a lot of pitches. Let's see if Flynn is biting.
And he smacks that one down to Steven Andrews. And Andrews, who had to come on from right field and play first base, doing a nice job there.
Great pitch by Lane. Hard, low, and away. That was about the only thing Flynn could do with it, was just slap it.
So that will bring up Charles Stevens, the right fielder. Stevens 0 for 2 in yesterday's action. And he fouls the first offering from Carmine Lane back.
You got to like Lane in his fastball. He rears back and just dares you to hit it.
That he does. You can almost feel him. You can almost hear him grunting because he is certainly throwing that with every single ounce of strength he's got. He just whips that arm. Nice motion on that fastball, too. So, story of the inning, Carmine Lane jumping out ahead of Calvary Christian hitters on yet another 0-2 count.
He may try to overpower him with another fastball. He's having a difficult time catching up.
And that time, he was close to it, but couldn't get good wood on that. Or good metal, I should say, in this level of ball.
Stevens, 2 home runs on the year. He does have some power.
And that one pops straight up. This may be your chance, Mr. Alexander. Just in front of our booth.
I need one of those long fish nets up here.
You might have had it that time had you had one of those. And nice job by Stevens to fight that one off because that was not the pitch he was looking for, and that was a defensive swing. Still managed to get a piece of it.
His timing is fastball. I think it'll be a breaking ball that Lane can out him with.
And Stevens staying alive. Nice battle here between Carmine Lane and Charles Stevens. The windup and the pitch from Lane. And it is popped up on the left side. 3 Stallions giving chase, and it'll be the left fielder, Sam Murrison, making the catch to send the Warriors down in order. We've played full 2 innings here at Hammond Stadium. Your score, Calvary Christian 1, American Heritage nothing. We'll be right back after this quick break. And so the Liberty University signee, Mr. Josh Emerson, will go back to work after giving up 2 scoreless innings so far against American Heritage Delray. Leading off will be Kevin Coyne, the sophomore right fielder who came on after the injury to Chris Ferrara at first base that sent Stephen Andrews to first, and Coyne enters the game at right field. Emerson quickly ahead, 0-2 to Coyne. And he gets coin on 3 pitches. Josh Emerson going to the Atlantic Sun. A very good baseball conference. Going to be playing for Liberty in Lynchburg, Virginia. He faces Dylan King. King went 2 for 3 yesterday in the 9-0 victory over Trinity Christian. Pitch misses just outside to King. King is a .269 hitter. 21 hits, 13 RBI, 4 doubles on the season. That pitch is low and away. And now Emerson finds himself in a 3-0 count.
First batter Emerson appears not to have control over. There was one other 3-0 count. He got it back to 3-2 and was able to put that batter down. Let's see how he battles back.
And he finds the outside part of the plate that time for a strike.
I've always considered that a mark of a good pitcher who can pitch ahead or behind in the count.
And swinging and a miss by King, and now quickly the count has been run full.
That was ball 4.
That one is laced into center field, but underneath it is the center fielder Samuel Gordon, and that will be the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the left fielder, Sam Merson. Merson 1 for 1 yesterday with an RBI. Merson, the 9-hitter. Leadoff DeMartinez on deck. And that will be the first time completely through the order. Something that you always want to watch to see what adjustments were made now that your leadoff hitter is about to make his second plate appearance, pending Merson gets on. That one is fouled back. And quickly, Merson is behind 0-2. Emerson misses with that one, 1-2. Gorgeous evening for baseball. If it sounds like a broken record, it's because it has been the same way since we arrived here on Tuesday night. Sun setting over the Gulf of Mexico behind us. And that pitch is low. And now Merson has managed to work this back to an even count at 2-2 with 2 outs, deuces wild. Out in front of that off-speed pitch, and that's going to give Stavrakos some issues, and that'll get down. Merson looking like he's going to try for 3, not doing after a great job of getting out to it and hitting the cutoff man, but not before Sam Merson ends up with a stand-up double.
Emerson left that breaking pitch out over the plate and belt high. One of the first pitches of the day that the Stallions actually could do something with it.
Merson looked like he was anticipating the off-speed pitch, because that was about as sweet of a swing you could make on it and make contact with it.
Recipe for disaster anytime you hang that breaking pitch.
So now DeMartinez, see if he tries to show a little more patience than the first time, or if Emerson will win the battle. DeMartinez grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Second time through the order officially now for the Stallions. He gets DeMartinez to chase that one and quickly ahead 0-1.
DeMartinez can't look unsure on swing number 1, first pitch of the at-bat. If you're guessing, at least swing with conviction. Totally fooled on that play.
Emerson's windup and delivery, and sky high for the right fielder, Charles Stevens. And that will do it for the Stallions in the top half of the third inning. Nothing doing, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Calvary Christian 1, American Heritage Delray nothing. We'll be right back after this quick break on the NFHS Network.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Sun setting on this Memorial Day holiday weekend over the Gulf of Mexico. As the great Kenny Chesney said, big orange ball dropping in the water. And just a picture-perfect Chamber of Commerce night for baseball. Good action, highly contested game so far. Been a lot of cotton mouse and a little bit of gamesmanship, just trying to feel each other out. There's been a couple injuries. There's been some blood, literally, and some smash hits, and some great pitching. Pretty much everything we've wanted so far. And Carmine Lane's first pitch to Christian Cairo. Second time through the order now for Calvary Christian. Cairo 0 for 1, grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. That pitch is outside, and Lane will fall behind 2-0. That catches the inside part of the plate. Our home plate umpire, representing the Orange Baseball Association, Tom Skink. Julio Morales at first, and Edwin Ortiz, at third. Cairo fouled that one off his foot or his leg. That one smarts. Christian Cairo signed to Louisiana State University. Going to be a Bayou Bengal Tiger next year. And will be joined by the second baseman, Vince Smith. So Christian Cairo, the shortstop. The ball managed to find the one spot that wasn't protected on his left leg there, just below his knee and just above the shin guard. I guess we'd call that unlucky.
Well, Romano's playing at the base and charging, looking for a surprise bunt. Let's see if he continues to be as aggressive. now that Cairo appears to be hobbled somewhat.
So now Cairo has worked the count full. Christian Cairo awaits the pitch from Carmine Lane, and swing and strike. Dylan King will fire down to first, and not in time. Cairo with the Jets down to first base, and that will get.
I thought it was interference by Cairo. Looked like he hit the ball coming out of the backstop.
And Carmaza none too happy with Julio Morales' decision on that one.
So much for Cairo being hobbled.
He put on the Jets right there.
Yes, sir. 33 stolen base successful stolen bases in 34 attempts this season.
So it'll be Samuel Gordon, who reached on an error his first time up.
See if Coach Mazza calls a pitch out at some point in this at-bat.
Gordon squares up the bunt, and this one skied behind home plate. Tried to catch it with his hat. I think it was moving at a speed. He probably could have caught it bare hand. A lot of activity in the stands tonight. Decent crowd. Especially given the fact that both these teams are more than 2 hours away each.
Great pickoff move by Andrews, excuse me, by Lane.
And just like that, Christian Cairo, and now, in addition to the foul ball off his left leg, is now holding that same left leg. And I wonder if...
Well, Andrews appeared to sort of clamp down on him on the tag. First base appears to be like Bermuda Triangle this evening. The second player injured.
That's the pain zone over there on. So Cairo's
tough. Again, great pickoff move by Carmine Lane. What can't he do on the baseball field? Just a fabulous talent.
He was most definitely out. That was not up for debate. It appears that he may have dinged up his shoulder, which would even be a bigger problem for the fact that you've got to have your strongest arm in the infield at shortstop.
It's going to take more than that, Doug, to knock him out this championship ball game.
Do not adjust your TV set. There is no growth coming out of Gordon's nose. That would be the gauze that is stuck up in there after he ran into Chris Ferrara and was leaking from that nose. And swing and strike. King will throw down. Actually, no need to do that at all. And Gordon will go down with a strikeout. That'll bring up the third baseman, Tommy White. Doubled with an RBI his first time up. And that one almost gets a piece of White on the left shoulder. Ball one.
White's an aggressive hitter. That's Lane commanding some respect on the inside part of the plate.
North Carolina State commit. yanks that one foul down the third base line. Pitch from Lane. And White is way behind on that one. Count goes to 1-2 now. And White is mowed down that time by Carmine Lane. And that will send Calvary Christian down in order. Nothing across for the Warriors that time. We've played 3 full innings. Your score 1-0. Calvary Christian will be right back after this quick break.
This championship event is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Thousands of young athletes have their season ended by ACL injuries. Learn how to keep them safe with our ACL injury prevention course at nfhslearn.com/courses.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Here you get a good look at the American Heritage dugout. Stallions just 1 hit through 3 innings and an error. Calvary Christian scored their only run in the bottom of the first. Only 2 hits, only 3 hits altogether in this game. We will see the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Stallions. Bailey Utteritz. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Uteritz takes that first offering from Emerson for a ball. And Uteritz is out front of that one, and the count will now even at 1-1.
Emerson has done a wonderful job changing speeds as well as moving his pitch selection around.
You notice Emerson hand movement before he gets into the windup. Most obvious example to me for that would be Ryan Dempster, who used to throw for the Cubs and the Red Sox. You see quite a few guys throughout the league have some sort of motion because it's all predicated on a rhythmic delivery, whatever works.
Well, if Uteritz can get the ball back up the middle, plenty of space.
Instead, he will get a free pass down to first base. That'll bring up the pitcher, Carmine Lane, who flied out to center field his first time up.
Great opportunity for the Stallions to get something cooking here, but arguably their best hitter. Lane up the bat. Hit it hard the first time.
Emerson's pitch is high, ball one.
Emerson starts laying off with a breaking ball. As I noted earlier, very difficult to throw the fastball by Lane, a power hitter. He'll probably try to get him out on off-speed material. Six stolen bases on the season for Uteritz.
Emerson checks the runner over at first.
He was leaning. He was leaning. Lucky to get back.
It's a nice move there for Emerson as well.
Heritage doesn't like to run that much. They move people around using the bat more so than their feet.
And elevate and celebrate, says Emerson. That pitch right up in the eyes of Carmine Lane. Too tempting to pass, and now the count will even at 1-1.
Excuse me, 45 stolen bases on the season for American Heritage.
And that one's in for a strike. The count will now run 1-2.
We haven't seen Lane check swing too much in this tournament thus far. He's pretty definitive when he wants to swing the bat. A testament to Emerson.
Comes the payoff pitch. High and inside. And the count will even up at 2-2.
Emerson brushed Lane back with that previous pitch.
And again, Emerson will check on Uteritz.
The challenge when pitching to Lane is his bat speed. You're hesitant about coming inside because he can turn to the tune of 10 home runs during the season.
Just like that. And he rips that one, and it'll be foul. Excellent job of calling that one, Jason.
If you're going to come inside, you're going to have to come all the way inside. When Lane can get his arms extended, he's as good a hitter in the state that you'll see.
So the 2-2 pitch from Emerson. On the way, high and inside. And now the count will run full. To Carmine Lane, the pitcher.
Lane, 20 strikeouts on the year to 14 walks. Don't be surprised if coach doesn't put the runner in motion here.
And Lane will smack that one, and
Oh,
that
that's
one's going to
gonna
get
get over
over
his
the
head.
head of Charles Stevens. And Stevens will get it as quickly as possible back in. Good job there by the right fielder. Bailey Uteritz was on his horse and looked like he had room to get home. And instead, that will hold the runners up at second and third. But it doesn't replace the fact that there are no outs and American Heritage with runners in scoring position.
All of us being treated to the power display of Carmine Lane. Power to all fields.
The wind is not blowing as heavy as it has been during the day. At night, it has a tendency to drop, but it's still healthy enough that it can knock down some balls out to right field. That time you just see on the replay, excellent job by Carmine Lane. A true power hitter, and he doesn't really have that sort of stature that would just, you know, obviously tell you, okay, this guy's a masher and a raker. He is a true baseball player.
Technique. It's been coached up. Gets the barrel of the bat on the ball.
So Jack Siebert, who got up last night, but was not needed after Nolan Hootie threw a complete game, headed to the bullpen. Not going to wait around for Emerson to sort it out much longer, especially if he gives up 2 runs. I think you can live with giving up a tying run, but you can't live giving up anything more than that at this point. And that pitch is inside for a ball, strike, excuse me. Caught the inside half of that plate, just a small corner of it. Good pitch there by Emerson. And that one is foul back, just to the right of our booth.
Stavrakos, Gordon, and Stevens in the outfield. A shade away from the warning track. Plenty of space in the outfield.
And that one is almost tomahawked down the left field, left third base line, excuse me.
Defense respecting the power of Lejeski, who has 4 home runs on the season.
Lejeski struck out his first time. 0 for 1 on the night. And he'll ask for time and back out. Emerson working from the stretch, then to the pitch, and he will get a huge strikeout of Jacob Lejeski.
Emerson, very fortunate right there. The pitch was supposed to be on the outside and off the plate. Threw it over the plate, just was a very good breaking ball, low and in the dirt.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, Steven Andrews. He was 0 for 1, struck out looking his first time. That one is in for a strike. Good pitch there by Josh Emerson.
Very important to throw that breaking ball over for strikes.
And that one is chopped sky high behind the third base dugout. And so Emerson now 0-2 quickly on Andrews.
Huge at bat right here for the Stallions. He must get a run home here.
That one is way outside. Yes, this would be a huge deal if Calvary Christian were somehow find a way to get out of this jam. They had runners on second and third with no outs. Right now, Emerson trying to work his way through it. Struck out Lejeski in the last at bat. And now Andrews facing a 1-2 count. And that one gets away from Chambers, but not nearly enough to bring home a run. Emerson. And calls time would be Stephen Andrews.
Emerson and Chambers have made a strong commitment to work that outer half of the plate. Look for a breaking ball low and away as an out pitch here.
And Andrews taps that one to the third baseman, Tommy White, who is up with it quickly. And that will be good for the second out, but that will also be good to get a run home for American Heritage to tie the ball game up at 1.
Nice job by Andrews to get bat on ball and drive that run home.
So that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Bruno.
Great opportunity for Bruno to pick up a spare right here and send his team into the lead. The way Carmine Lane is throwing the ball today, a 1-run lead may be enough.
That first pitch to Bruno in for a ball. Bruno 0 for 1 on the night. Grounded to the third baseman, Tommy White, his first time up. And he will hit this one second base. There's Smith. Dives into first base head first, but the throw will beat him. And so the damage limited to just 1 run by Calvary. So we go to the bottom half of the 4th. It's all knotted up at 1 apiece here in this Class 4A final game from Fort Myers. We'll be right back after this quick break.
This event is brought to you by Champion. Since 1919, Champion has created the durable, authentic sportswear you need to conquer your goals. As the official uniform and apparel provider for the NFHS, Champion helps athletes at every level make their mark, the mark of a champion. View our apparel today at champion.com.
So the Stallions get one across in the top half of the 4th inning to tie this one up. And the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Calvary Christian due up in the bottom of the 4th. Vince Smith, Pierce Chambers, and Nolan Hootie. And Smith fouls that one off, lined out to the third baseman his first time.
It's a huge luxury when a pitcher can just rear back and just throw the ball and be effective. Lane has a live arm. Really is a fastball pitcher that understands that the breaking ball keeps batters off balance. Does a nice job working both pitches.
And that one is lined too short. Pajewski up with it. And one gone here in the home half.
Strong arm by Pajewski.
That'll bring up Pierce Chambers, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And that pitch outside, but finds the corner for a strike. 0-1. To Chambers. And he smacks that one up the middle into center field. But right there is Bailey Uteritz for the second out of the inning.
When you have a great defense behind you, you can just stay around the plate. You're not intimidated. You're not worried about guys putting bat on ball when your defense is working on all cylinders.
So we just had Chambers going to TCU, and now Nolan Hootie, his future teammate, steps in the box. Hootie 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking, his first time up, and slaps that one towards Lejeski. Lejeski up with it, and a nice job by the Stallions, and quickly the Warriors go down in order. We played 4 full innings. Your score, it's the Stallions 1, the Warriors 1. Be right back after this quick message. There you see a shot out of a very fired up American Heritage dugout. As we were going to break, the two coaches from Calvary Christian had to be separate, or two coaches from opposing sides had to be separated. Not quite sure how the whole thing matriculated, but it certainly has given the American Heritage side, Carmaza, going up and down, trying to implore his players, and now he'll take a walk because he'll have to go over to the third base side past the same coaches that he had to be separated from. So it wouldn't be right if we didn't have some drama between these two schools and have it happen in the 4A state final. Inside out swing from Coyne, and a nice play there by Stavrakos.
Got a beat on it, closed the gap. Nice play by the left fielder.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Dylan King, who's 0 for 1, flied out to center field his first time up.
The intensity decibel level of this ball game has just gone up 2 notches. The fans are really in it.
It's not packed by any stretch of the imagination, but let me tell you, the acoustics in this stadium are very, very good. You hear a line drive off the bat, it sounds like it's right smack dab next to your ear. And these fans getting loud sound like they're right here in the booth with us. Good atmosphere here tonight.
Yes.
And that one's in for a strike. to King, and now Emerson has worked himself ahead in the count. And just a protection swing on that one. That was outside. He just didn't want to go down looking on that one, so stays alive. Perhaps a really good effort right there if he were to convert something into a hit. And that one misses just low, and the count will even up at 2-2. And that one is smacked towards the right side. Smith is there, and he makes the play for the second out, excuse me.
These teams are showing you why they're top 100 nationally ranked and top 10, top 15 here in the state of Florida. They make difficult plays look routine.
Saw quite a few balls hit to the infield identically to what we've seen tonight, and quite a few errors as a result of it. Pristine defense, dare I say it. Hope we don't jinx ourselves here, but these kids breathe fundamentals in and out. It is absolutely a joy to watch these kids go to work. And that one is fouled off. 0-2 quickly now to the 9-hitter Sam Murrison, who smoked a double down the left field line his first time up.
On a breaking ball that was up in the zone, Emerson will surely pitch him differently this at bat. Already giving him a heavy dose of heat.
Throws it that time, and Murrison deposited it to the same spot he did the first time up. Kicked around a little bit by Stavrakos, and it's a carbon copy of his first at bat. Sam Murrison, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Every now and then, Doug, there's a batter out there that just has an answer for everything you do. First at bat, hanging curveball, double up the line. Hard fastball, bottom half of the plate, up the line for a 2-bagger. Give Murrison credit.
So the top of the order, DeMartinez is up. 0 for 2, grounded out to the shortstop and flied out to right field in both his at-bats. Beautiful breaking pitch there by Emerson, had DeMartinez way out in front.
Emerson throws hard enough for you to be concerned about how hard he throws. So when he mixes in that breaking ball effectively, he can keep you on 1 foot.
And that one in there for a strike. So quickly now, Emerson ahead in the count, 1-2.
When you swing and miss on both of my pitches, I become really excited because I know I have you where I want you.
That pitch misses outside, and the count will go full at even at 2-2. 2 outs. And that one gets over the head of Chambers. Elevator went all the way to the top floor on that pitch from Emerson, and just too much for Chambers. Kind of just squirted out of his glove. Essentially, he got good leather on it, but it was not enough to keep it from going all the way to the wall. And the runner will advance to third.
Well, as we tiptoe towards the 7th inning, the pressure will mount.
That will get DeMartinez looking. A huge explosion of noise from the Calvary bench. DeMartinez was already headed to first thinking he had gotten a walk. And that will set the Stallions down through 5.5 innings from Fort Myers. Your score knotted up at 1. We'll be right back. You're watching the Class 4A final on the NFHS Network.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for Calvary Christian, number 7 hitter, Peter Stavrakos, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And that one right down Broadway for a strike.
Lane picks up right where he left off. Hard fastball for a strike.
And that one is low and in the dirt. So that'll be Bo Planeta pinch hitting for Stavrakos. My apologies. And he'll take strike from Lane. Strike 2. Count will now run at 1-2.
Lane welcoming Bo to this ball game by blowing 2 fastballs.
And first base umpire Julio Morales says he did not go around that time. And so the count will even up at 2-2.
I expect him to challenge him all the way to the final strike.
And Planeta was on top of that one.
And that's when you know I got you set up for the curveball.
So let's see if it comes. Payoff pitch, and he threw it, but it was in the dirt, and Planeta did a good job of laying off of it.
So if I'm Planeta, if I'm Lane, I think we both know what's going to happen here. It's a hard fastball.
High and inside, and that will be ball 4, and Planeta is on with a pinch hit walk. And pinch running now will be Stavrakos.
Calvary has 22 successful sacrifice bunts this season.
So Kyle Flynn, who is 0 for 1, lined out to the first baseman his first time out. Seven, 8, 9 hitters still trying to get through their second at bat here in the top of the 5th. Tells you how little amount of traffic has been on the bases tonight.
Lane, the hard-throwing right-hander, is not as easy to sacrifice bunt as it appears. He can really move that fastball around. This will be no easy task for Mr. Flynn.
Checks the runner over at first. So Calvary Christian, that's DeFracos at first. The man who pinch hit for him drew the walk, Bo Planeta. They bring Stavrakos in to run for Planeta.
2 strikes. Let's see if Coach Olson stays committed to the sacrifice bunt.
And that one just misses. And the count will go to 1-2.
Romano at third will stay in aggressively just in case they come back to the sacrifice bunt opportunity.
And that one is hit. Third baseman coming. And Romano losing his footing. And we'll wait for the official score on that one. Looked like Romano was going to have Flynn dead in the rights there. Romano just losing his footing on that play.
Pressure, Douglas, pressure. As we move step by step towards this 7th inning, routine plays become not so routine. Idealistically, Lejeski probably would have had a better read on fielding the ball. However, because Romano was already playing in for the bunt, it was his play to make.
So this is Stevens.
Got him. Ooh. Close play at second. We've seen quite a few base running miscues in this tournament. Not the time to fall asleep at second base.
Stevens squares around the bunt. And pulls it back. Count will go to 1-0. So they give Flynn a hit on that.
Really?
Yep. The Warriors only had 2 hits, and now they have 3 hits. Took them a while to put it up there, too. I bet there was that section of offices right to our right. I bet they were having a very spirited debate in there.
Jeski will shag the runner at second base and then move into his rotation.
Stevens will call time and back out. Stevens skies that one down the left field line and will get out of play. And we will even the count up at 1-1.
Coach Olson having fun with this moment. Sacrifice bunt allows him to swing away. Doing anything he can to keep the Stallions off balance.
And a nice catch there by one of our patrons in the stands. Excellent job there. Did it without even getting out of his seat.
And donated the ball to another group who donated it to one of our most prized fans, a 9-year-old.
Here to that.
The look on his face priceless when he received that ball.
So here's Stevens, and umpire Tom Skink calls time.
Lane surely looking for the K here. He'll probably go to his fastball low and inside.
Inside out, and fouls that off. The count will stay at 1-2.
Warriors are locating his fastball, and they're fouling it off defensively, sometime offensively. I believe that Lane will have to use his breaking ball as an out pitch in the latter half of this ball game, just because the team has made a concerted effort to go after his fastball.
And a swinging strike there from Stevens, and that's a huge strikeout.
Lane goes to the breaking ball, Doug. Great pitch choice.
So that will bring up the top of the order. Christian Cairo now the third time through the order for the Warriors. Let's see if they've solved any equation that Carmine Lane has put out there for them. Only 3 hits. They just got their third hit of the game this inning. So once Lane gave up the first run at the bottom of the first, he has been absolutely lights out for the next 3 innings. And a little bit of a issue right now. Runners on first and second, just 1 out.
Well, you likely won't double Cairo up on a ground ball here.
It's a great point.
So how you choose the pitch will be important.
And that one misses high. And the count will go to 2-0. You also don't want to load the bases with 1 out.
Lane will probably stay around belt high and look to have Cairo get under the ball in a swing. And I suspect he'll try to overpower him with fastballs, belt high and up.
And that one catches the inside part of the plate. 2-1.
Hit his count here for Cairo. He hasn't been able to put a good swing on a Lane pitch yet.
Cairo calls time. Quick inhale, exhale, step back in, hit the reset button, and let's get ready to work. Lane working from the stretch. And the pitch. Catches the inside part of the plate. And now the count will even up at 2-2.
I suspect he'll challenge him hard one good time with that fastball and try to out him. If he can't, he'll come back to the breaking pitch on the pitch after.
And that one low and inside, and the count will now run full. A huge moment in this game.
Let's see if Lane has the confidence to throw a breaking ball here, despite his fastball probably being his best pitch.
And he gives that one a ride to left field. Will it get over the head? Merson, nothing doing, and the runners quickly get back.
That was worth the price of admission at a bat right there. Cairo gave it a ride. They both knew what was coming. Cairo just didn't have the strength to get it out the yard.
So Cairo now 0 for 3 on the evening. And this will bring up Samuel Gordon. Reached on an error the first time, struck out in his last at bat.
Romano backs up at third. He's not guarding the line. They must feel like batters are unable to get around on Lane's fastball.
And that one low and away. Nice job getting his body in front of that one by Dylan King.
Giving Gordon a lot of respect in left field, slightly shallow in center.
And that one just casually caught by Carmine Lane. And that will squash the rally that Calvary had going. So through 5 full innings of play at Hammond Stadium, your score, the Stallions won, the Warriors won. We'll be right back after this quick word on the NFHS Network.
This championship event is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Thousands of young athletes have their season ended by ACL injuries. Learn how to keep them safe with our ACL injury prevention course at nfhslearn.com/courses.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark.
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I would encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Hard to get much more even than that. 1-3-1 for the Stallions, 1-3-0 for the Warriors. And we will be awaiting the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for American Heritage Delray, who tied this game up in the top of the 4th. And so neither one of these teams technically down to their final 6 outs at the moment. But if somebody were to put some runs on the board in this inning, then it would get rather interesting.
If we looked up the definition of a pitcher's duel in Webster's dictionary, Doug, it would be this game right here, right now.
First pitch right down Broadway for a strike. And quickly, Uteritz finds himself in the hole, 0-2.
When I look at Edmondson's pitching form compared to Lane's pitching form, they both work the fastball, curveball. Edmondson, much smoother in his delivery. Lane, a lot more violent.
And Uteritz is sent down in 3 pitches.
But the point that I was trying to make is that both pitchers are equally effective in their respective rights.
So that will bring up the pitcher, Carmine Lane. He is also the most dangerous power hitter on this American Heritage team.
Huge, huge gap in left center field.
Center fielder Samuel Gordon, if you were to go straight from home out to center field at that 405 mark, he is easily 10 to 15 yards to the right of that. He is almost playing in right center. And then you've got Stavrakos playing straight up and left, if not a shade towards the line.
Well, what that says to me, Douglas, is that the pitching staff at Calvary is going to pitch him on the outer part of the outer part of the plate. They expect him to go to right field.
And he skies that one down the right field. Looks like it's going to get into the American Heritage bullpen.
So much about making you feel good, pitching him off the plate. Lane can hit with authority.
Yeah, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point where you're pitching him. He's already proven that he's going to hit whatever you offer to him. So you might as well just play him straight up.
He just manages to get the barrel on the bat on the ball every opportunity. It's been impressive. It really has.
It's been an excellent ball game this evening. And he turns on that one. He hit that one a mile. And that will
fair ball.
go foul.
Ooh.
Just foul. Mere inches foul.
Once again, Lane just donating balls as souvenirs. Spraying the ball all over the field here at Hammond Stadium.
That one was very, very close.
Emerson looks to the dugout like, where should I pitch this guy?
Safe to say he's pretty much tried everything at this point. Excellent battle going on between these two pitchers.
Just an explosive bat. Third baseman. Reminds me of Evan Longoria when he was really, his numbers are down a little bit now, but a lot of pop in his bat playing that hot corner.
Mr. Nolan Arenado, arguably with some of the biggest pop from that third base spot, and that one is fly high out to right center. And Charles Stevens up underneath it for the second out of the inning.
I'm sure Emerson feels much better.
That'll bring up Jacob Lejeski. Lejeski 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. And that one catches the fat part of the plate on the outside for a strike. And that one is hit a mile high. Looks like it may stay in the park, and it does. And Stavrakos will come up with it. And the Stallions will go down in order in the top half of the 6th. All knotted at 1 here in Fort Myers. We'll be back after this quick word on the NFHS Network.
This event is brought to you by Champion. Since 1919, Champion has created the durable, authentic sportswear you need to conquer your goals. As the official uniform and apparel provider for the NFHS, Champion helps athletes at every level make their mark, the mark of a champion. View our apparel today at champion.com.
Grandfather once said that the real heroes never made it home. We want to take a second to honor and give our heartfelt thank you to those that served and fought in wars on foreign soil this Memorial Day weekend.
Indeed.
And we could not do any of this without the freedom provided by our armed forces across the world. And so we say thank you to all the men and women that have served, have fought, and we say we're sorry for your loss to those that lost those in foreign wars. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. And so Tommy White will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Flies that one to center field. Uderitz is underneath it, and one down here quickly in the bottom of the 6th. Lane's first pitch is a ball. That one misses outside.
He's gotten that pitch, that call, most of the evening from home plate umpire Tom Skank.
And that one misses, and quickly now 3-0 count to Vince Smith. Smith is 0 for 2 on the night, lined out to third base and grounded out to the shortstop in his 2 at-bats. That one right down Broadway for the strike.
Lane took something off that pitch.
And that one just misses our booth. And that one's coming back here with a little bit of pace.
They got the memo. You could use a few souvenirs for the kids.
Lane's pitch is swung on and missed by Smith, and quickly 2 down here.
Nice job of Lane to recover out the hole. Took something off the first strike. Got a foul on the second pitch. Overpowered him on the third pitch. Definition of a power pitcher.
So here's the TCU commit. Pierce Chambers reached on a fielder's choice his first time and lined out to center field his second time. And Lane bounces that one well in front of the plate, and the count will even up at 1-1.
Subtly in the latter half of this ball game, Lane has used the breaking ball to start batters out, just to get them off of that fastball. Nice adjustment on his part.
That one misses inside, 2-1.
He throws that breaking ball just enough so that you can't sit on that fastball.
And blows that one right past. And the count will even up at 2. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
You got to lay off that pitch. That's ball 3 right there. Easier said than done.
Yep. And that was another hard pitch to lay off, but now the count will run full.
I think the entire ballpark knows a fastball is coming here. Can you hit it, though? That fastball out over the plate. Let's see if he locates it east, inside, or west on the outside part of the plate.
The 3-2 pitch is swatted into center field and will get down for a hit.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Chambers.
Headed to TCU. And headed back to TCU as well as Mr. Nolan Hootie, who is coming up to bat 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out looking and grounded out to the shortstop his last time at bat.
Pitched a fabulous game yesterday. Let's see if he can make a huge contribution offensively here. Starts Hootie out with a fastball.
And that one misses, and now the count will go to 2-0 to Hootie.
favorable opportunity for Hootie.
Misses inside. And the count will now go to 3-0. Hootie, 365 on the season, got some power. He's hit a home run, a triple, 5 doubles, 17 RBI. So no better time than the present if you're a Calvary Christian fan to see him pick up number 18. And that one is tapped back to Lane. Hootie slams the bat down. And that will do it for the Warriors. In the bottom of the 6th, we played 6 full innings now in Fort Myers. Your score 1-1 in this Class 4A final. We'll be right back after this quick break. It would only be fitting that the 2 best teams, arguably this entire week, would take us to extras. We're not there yet, but the Stallions in the top half of the 7th inning looking to get a run home. A run home wins if you're Calvary Christian. A run will get you in the catbird seat if you're American Heritage. And that last inning, Carmine Lane gave a shot down the left field line. You know, our cameras did a great job of picking up him mouthing the words 1 foot. And so 1 foot could determine the difference. Leading off the top of the 7th for American Heritage is Stephen Andrews. And he takes strike 2, and quickly behind 0-2 to Emerson. That's Emerson's 103rd pitch of the night. He's got 2 more pitches where this batter, he will face this batter, well, Smith over with it. So now he's at 104. He can technically start this batter. Let's see what the coaching staff decides to do.
They're going to leave him there as long as they possibly can. If he can pitch to this batter, that's what they're going to allow. He's pitched a masterful ball game.
By our count, he's at 104. So he can most definitely pitch here to Ryan Bruno, but his night will be done after Bruno is retired one way or another. At that point, we expect to see Jack Siebert. And first pitch is in there for a strike. And that's fouled off by Bruno. Quickly behind 0-2. That one is pulled towards the right side. Nice job by Smith to get that hop. And one gone in the top half of the 7th.
Excellent footwork by Smith and hip action. Able to field the ball to his left, pivot, turn, deliver an accurate throw. Great job by Emerson this evening.
So 6 1/3, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits, surrendered. A masterful job by the Liberty University commit. You know, Liberty's mascot are the Flames. He was flaming tonight.
Emerson's a flamethrower. Does it with poise and grace.
So the new pitcher is number 33, Jack Siebert, 6'2", sophomore. Siebert, 21 1/3 innings pitched, 16 hits, 28 strikeouts, so 13 walks. He's got a .92 ERA, or excuse me, he's got a 2.62 ERA with a 2-1 record. He's appeared in 10 games, started 1 with a save.
My concern, Doug, with Siebert, great numbers, knows his role, but he's just a sophomore. You come into this ball game at the height of competition, a 1-1 ball game where you have to, every pitch counts. Can he step right in right away and really pick up where Emerson left off? As a sophomore is a lofty task.
It's a great point. You know, I think we can say that both these teams are of such high pedigree that their freshmen and sophomores are a little more atypical than the freshmen and sophomores at another school. So I think, at least, you're the expert, but I tend to see it from a perspective that you wouldn't bring a sophomore into this position if you didn't think he could handle it. So I'm interested to see how he does.
Kids play so many games throughout the year now between school and travel. They are a lot more prepared for moments as such.
And he blows that one by Kevin Coyne. Coyne is 0 for 2, flat out to left field his last time up. And that one is going to get out of play on the left side.
Souvenir collectors scamper to collect.
And so the 0-2 pitch to Coyne with 2 outs. Upstairs, ball 1. And Coyne swings and misses. And good job by Siebert to come in and do what he was asked to do. And so the drama begins and the suspense begins. We head to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 1 in this Class 4A title game. We'll be right back after this quick message from the NFHS Network.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
There you see the support from the Calvary students that made the trip down from Clearwater. And both teams have had quite a bit of support here these last 2 days. Calvary fans making some noise after that last strikeout from Jack Siebert, the sophomore that came in and closed the door and put to bed any hopes of an American Heritage rally in the top of the 7th. And we've got ourselves a new pitcher. That's going to be Ryan Bruno, who was already the designated hitter. Bruno on the season, 30 1/3 innings worked, 13 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, 49 strikeouts to just 19 base on balls. .62 ERA with a 3-1 record though. Appeared in 11 games, started 6 of them. Credited with a save as well.
Masterful performance by Carmine Lane. He and Emerson put on a pitching clinic here in this championship game.
So this is Peter Stavrakos. And that one hit him, and he will take his base.
Tough for a reliever in this condition. Something you do all the time, but you don't play in a state final 1-1 in the top of the 7th inning 24 times in a regular season.
So the leadoff runner on. The suspense building. You can cut the tension with a knife in this place. There's a lot of noise, a lot of folks on their feet. Fantastic atmosphere for this final game. They saved the best for last.
Stavrakos, no stolen bases on the year, but we can anticipate a sacrifice here.
And Dylan King doing his best Wilson Contreras impression.
Lane out there being the leader that he is, reaffirming rotations on the expected sac bunt opportunity.
And that one gets away, and Stavrakos will quickly go. Let's see if he makes the turn. And he'll take just one base. So now, Bruno, who came on in relief, dealt with a hand that is less than optimal at the moment. His leadoff hitter has gotten on and now made his way out to scoring position. And that will get a visit from the dugout.
I question Siebert being just a sophomore and rising to the occasion. Bruno, a junior and upperclassman, should be prepared for this. Doesn't look ready. Hit batsman and errant throw on the pickoff move, and he's put his team in a situation.
American Heritage, Bruno would have been a freshman the year that they made it to the state semis in 17. That's the only state semi appearance since 2012, other than this year as well. So American Heritage, not exactly mainstays at this time of the year. So pressure
Play at third
getting to him. And the runner is in, and everybody's safe.
Things unraveling really fast for the Stallions right now.
So all of a sudden, Calvary Christian flipped a switch we didn't think they had. And now that will bring up Charles Stevens, the right fielder, who is 0 for 2, flied out to left field. Struck out his last at bat. The Warriors, state champions in 2017, lost last year at this point in the state championship game. And now they're trying to get their second title in the last 3 years. They're going to have plenty of chances to get that runner home that's 90 feet away.
Bruno needs a strikeout right here.
And that's a great pitch from Bruno. Just needs to get something over. You don't want to make some sort of gift basket for him, but you're also not trying to throw balls right now. You've only got one base free. And so Flynn will take the stolen base. And American Heritage dugout is livid. They have not been happy with the progression of this game. Coaches having to be separated from Calvary Christians, and then a couple of different times Carmaza has come out to speak his mind to this crew. And again, Maza leaving the dugout. Now he's almost all the way to home plate. This is the equivalent of a basketball coach walking all the way out to midcourt.
I believe the issue is that he attempted to sacrifice bunt and did not get the strike called.
Whatever the issue is confirmed to be, it was one that meant a great deal to that dugout. Nonetheless, Bruno's delivery. And swing and a miss right there by Stevens.
Yeah, Bruno needs a K right here and regroup.
No outs, runners at second and third. State championship on the line. A run home for Calvary means they are state champions. This will be the greatest escape on the planet if American Heritage was to somehow not allow a run. You've got two runners on in scoring position. There's a slap to the left side of the field. The force is at home, and they can't come up with it. And there are your state champions, the Calvary Christian Warriors from out of Clearwater. King could not come up with it. It was an excellent job by Lejeski to get the ball and come home. The throw a little low, and King can't come up with it. And there you see the Warriors celebrating. What a game.
Full of excitement, Douglas. You hate to see a team lose under conditions like this.
I mean, I've got goosebumps, literally.
Quack, quack, quack.
Absolute Unbelievable ending to this one in the Class 4A title game. Calvary Christian are your state champions. Again, it was a good job by Lejeski to get that ball. The infield was in. Threw the ball as quick as he could. He beat the runner by a couple steps. And the throw was just too low. And I would imagine that if there was ever a time for true nerves, it would have been on the part of Dylan King right there. And you just see the dejection on the faces of American Heritage Delray. They had worked so hard to get to this point, and we're trying to get their first state championship in school history for the baseball program. But we will take a quick break. After this, the trophy presentation to your state champions, the Calvary Christian Warriors, after this.
This championship event is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Thousands of young athletes have their season ended by ACL injuries. Learn how to keep them safe with our ACL injury prevention course at nfhslearn.com/courses.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
There you see the Calvary players shaking hands with one another. And the American Heritage players also in that lineup. Good sportsmanship. It was a highly contested game. Tempers got a little out of hand, but nonetheless, a proper state title game. Jason, I want to get your thoughts.
I thought the pitch count came into play. It forced Emerson and Lane to be removed from the game. Siebert, for the Warriors, handled his end of the bargain. Bruno, for the Stallions, could not close the door. There you have it, Douglas.
So some of the leaders, I mean, it was a pitcher's duel. 1-3-2 for American Heritage, 2-4-0 for Calvary Christian. So 7 total hits. So as you would expect, not a lot of superstars at the dish, but you had Tommy White going 1 for 3 with an RBI. And you also, Tommy White with 2 RBIs. So you have to see, he might be the offensive player of the game for Calvary, but this one, in my estimation, belongs solely on the shoulders of Josh Emerson for shutting down that American Heritage lineup that had scored 9 runs against a very good Jacksonville Trinity Christian team yesterday.
And pitched out of several jams, which showed how good of a pitcher he is.
Liberty University getting an absolute steal in Josh Emerson. And so, as we await the trophy presentation, we want to give props to our crew. Guys in the truck, our 2 cameramen.
Absolutely.
And we thank everyone for checking us out this week. We will be back for the classifications 5A through 9A next week, next Wednesday through Saturday. If you thought this week was good, you haven't seen anything yet. We know what's coming, and there is a ton of talent coming to Fort Myers next week. But in the meantime, we need to recognize American Heritage Delray as the state runner-up. And getting a good look at that group of young men that will certainly have to go back to the drawing board. You've got Carmine Lane that will graduate, Ferrara that will graduate, and guess what? Nobody else. So out of the mainstays on this team, only 2 guys graduating. And even though losing Carmine Lane is almost like losing the equivalent of 2 to 3 players at the high school level, American Heritage, if I was a betting man, I'd feel pretty good about putting some money on that group getting back to this point next year.
It's a good ball club, coached very well, Coach Mazza. They've been here. Like, they keep knocking at the door. They just haven't been able to punch that ticket here, but I fully expect them to be in position to be back here next year.
And on the flip side, you're obviously losing the pitcher, Josh Emerson. Talked about him. But out of the main contributors, you're also going to lose Nolan Hootie, who is a stud going to TCU. So you'll lose 2 of your best pitchers, and that will require some of the reconstruction, but Mr. Siebert will certainly fill the void on that one. And as far as the other seniors that saw a lot of time, Christian Cairo will be headed off to LSU. So the more things change, the more they stay the same. They don't rebuild, they'll just reload, both of these teams. And so Class 4A will be yet again one of the juggernauts in this state. We'll go down to 7 classes next year. And there you see Karn Mazza and his seniors. Again, we only mentioned only a couple seniors on this team, so future is bright. They'll head back to Delray a little dejected, to say the least. But these Stallions will run free in the pasture yet again. Come February, when it's cold outside, their bats will be warming up the South Florida skyline. And now Calvary Christian's turn from Clearwater. Second time in 3 years. Be remiss if we didn't say Mr. Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay, watching down above his son Braden on this team, a senior. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably heard about Roy Halladay passing away 2 years back after crashing an experimental airplane into the Gulf of Mexico. And that really sent this team into a tailspin emotionally, but did not take away from the fact that they were a cohesive unit and perhaps got even stronger in the face of that adversity. And so an angel from up above smiling upon these warriors. They are true warriors.
Indeed.
And there they go out in the left field for their little sprint. Oh, to be young again, Jason.
It's great to see, man. And in light of Doc Halladay not here, you referencing that story, it is a great story for his son to survive that legacy and to win a state title. I'm sure it'll be emotional for he and his family in the next ensuing days.
So Calvary Christian are your 4A state champions, their second in 3 years. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation on the NFHS Network. For Jason Alexander, I'm Doug Pugh saying so long from Fort Myers and good night, everybody.